Yo, 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 welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Niall Frazier. And today we got a few things to talk about, but before we get started, could y'all please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man. Y'all already know. So, a few things we got to talk about. The first thing I did want to start off with was the report that came out from Jeremy Fowler via Jake Rabati. And it says Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni is trusting offensive coordinator Kellen Moore big time to make it all work offensively, per Jeremy Fowler, ESPN. I'm hearing that Nick Sirianni, the head coach, is trusting Kellen Moore big time to make it all work, to blend the principles of the past offense, the things that Jalen Hurts likes, the dual threat ability, play action, mix it with more system, and sprinkle in something new for the offense that got stagnant and static last year. Right now, if y'all do remember, and I know y'all remember, it wasn't a good latter half of the season. But if you're asking me, throughout the whole season, I didn't see any. Well, I can't say that, but it just wasn't Philadelphia Eagles football, man. So I'm thinking we're bringing in my guy Kellen Moore, Newsomire, that they should be able to first off build that connection, because if you do remember, Doug tried to get he recruited Jalen to Florida, one of the colleges in Florida, so there was already a connection there with those two guys. And I know Doug spoke about his work, Jalen Hurts' work ethic, him being a laser-like focus, and things like that. And I also remember Kellen Moore saying in his press conference that all what we heard is to be true about who Jalen Hurts is, how good he plays, how well he preps. So those were just good things to hear from the offensive coaches, man. And I just think with bringing Kellen Moore in here, giving him the weapons such as Saquon, and then you got A.J. Brown, Smitty, Dallas, and then Jalen Hurts himself as a weapon. It's going to be kind of hard for opposing defenses to stop us or slow us up. I do think Kellen Moore has a great way of getting a lot of these guys open. It's something that we really didn't get to see last year, which I don't understand why, but that's water under the bridge. I don't want to even bring that back up. But I think he will be able to scheme these players open more often. So I think Smitty eats this year, man. Smitty going to eat. I know AJ going to eat. But then with also bringing in Saquon, hopefully as the element of the run game. Because I feel as though, and even if it's not working, you got to keep pounding the rock, man. Because it helps open up your passing and things like that. Maybe not a deep pass, but you might some intermediate passes and stuff like that. Nothing crazy. You just want to make sure you're working your way down the field. So, I think Kellen Moore is going to implement a lot of things to give, and he said this, to give Jalen all the tools he needs at the line to make the proper decisions. So with the motion and anything else he incorporates into his offense, it should give us a Jalen MVP, 2022 season type play. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, especially with training camp coming up. So you'll definitely be hearing more reports about that coming up soon. So moving on, man, I wanted to talk about Nolan Smith. I think I might have talked about Nolan Smith in the last video, video before last, I want to say. But I'm very high on Nolan Smith. Excuse me. Very high on Nolan Smith, man. Him and Bryce Huff are at a camp right now, getting better, getting that work in. Excuse me. If I have the clip, I'll post it. But you can see Nolan Smith working with one of the coaches to learn, some moves, some swim moves, or, get up. I can't give you all the phrases, the terminology, but it was just good to see that he's working on his craft, because like Vic said, he's going to be putting a lot on Nolan. Now, we didn't get to see Nolan all last year. That could just be due to, the coaching side of the ball on the defense. Maybe he didn't know what he had. I couldn't tell you, but we didn't see too much of Nolan Smith like we should have for him to be a first-round pick. But then with him being a first-round pick, he really has to produce sooner than later. And I know he's going into his second year, but I really do have a lot of faith and Nolan Smith. I know my subscribers want to tell me something different in the comments, but I do feel like Nolan Smith will fit, honestly, very well in his defense, because he can drop in the coverage. He's 6'2", drop the coverage. He did add a little bit of weight, but he can also rush the quarterback. So versatile player. Hopefully that the coaches are working with him, getting him right. But he's already getting right. Like I said, he's a linebacker or edge summit, something like that. But it's just good to see, man, because we're really going to need him this year. We're going to need that edge help, because the line wasn't getting home last year. So that's going to be something to monitor as well. But Yeah, but Darius Slay was just giving his praise about Nolan, how he got one speed and he possesses a lot of talent. So like I said, that's just something for us to monitor. I do think, like I said, he's gonna have a nice season, maybe a breakout season, because of the couple glimpses I did get last year. I'm like, oh yeah, if my man get it together, he's gonna be A-okay. So shout out to my guy Nolan Smith, man. Shout out to Twin. But let's move on, man. Chris Carlin. I probably could have talked about this after that Nick Sirianni thing, but Chris Carlin, who used to work in Philadelphia, right? I'm gonna push the clip actually.
One other problem. Jalen Hurts has got a problem here, and it's not stuff on the field. Jalen Hurts listen, I worked in Philadelphia. I know the town pretty well. There were some things going on there with Jalen Hurts in that locker room in terms of guys not loving how he handled himself, believing some of the headlines along the way after they went to the Super Bowl and after he got paid. There are some fences for Jalen Hurts to mend in that room. The talent level is fantastic. I worry about that being a situation that is tenable at best, could blow up at any moment. And I think if it does, it's going to get ugly when it does.
Come out and he's been saying that there's been whatever this issue that is supposed to be going on. He's saying that it can blow up at any time in the locker room. So it would be nice if this is true information. It would be nice to know, but I honestly don't think anything. I mean, something could be going on, but not to the point where because they've been tearing Jalen down this whole season. I just don't understand it. I mean, it's like, and the crazy part is like if you've seen this tweet, they just talk about his character. They never talk about his talent. They know the talent's there, so that's what makes me believe y'all just doing this because y'all have nothing else to do. It's something to get clicks or something, get people intrigued or get people talking like, oh yeah, maybe they do need to move off at Jalen Hurts. No, the hell we don't. No, we do not. So shout out to Jalen Hurts, man. I just hope that he comes out this season, man. He just balls the hell out, man, because it's really getting irritating, at least to me. So, but let's move on, man. Next thing I got for y'all is Dak in a walking boot. Now, if y'all know, Dak is up for a $60 million a year contract with the Cowboys. If this, and I don't want to stay too long on it, but if this leads into the training camp or into the season, this is going to hurt the Dallas Cowboys. They didn't make any moves, barely any moves this offseason. And then if you lose Dak Prescott, that's going to be a problem. Now, I think I seen a report come out that said that the walking boot was off, so maybe it was just a minor injury. But that's just something to monitor because it'll make the NFC, at least our conference, NFC East, way more wide open. So we'll see about that, man. But, shout out to Dak. But yeah, it is what it is, man. But let's move on to our last topic, man. Shout out to make sure I give these guys the credit. But shout out to Let's Go Birds and Philly Birds Country. I follow them on Instagram, but they did a joint thing with, was it Chris Rabati, if I'm not mistaken, for the top free agent targets, and we're getting ready to go through this list, right? So number one, they already had on this list was Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons has been linked to this team numerous times this offseason. Still no word to see if he's going to come or not. We'll see, man. I don't know how that's going to work, but if he's looking for a payday, I don't know if he's going to get at this point in time, or he could just be waiting until after training camp is over. Because I know a lot of older players don't like to don't like to go through training camp. So maybe somebody gets injured, gets hurt, they can pick him up, and he can go about his business. But the next player I have on here is Zach Cunningham, linebacker. Now, Zach Cunningham was like the best linebacker for us last year because if you remember, our whole defense was riddled in injuries last year. So I think, me personally, I think he'd be a great addition. I'm not going to lie to y'all because if he kind of already know the system, he probably got to learn some new things now that Vic's there. And or probably a lot more depending on, however Patricia and Sean Desai coach the guys, but I kind of like that, to be honest. And I said that like videos ago because I seen he was on the free agent list. But I know Howie spoke highly of Zach Cunningham too, so maybe there's something there. I don't know. All right, the next person we have on here is Carl Lawson, defensive end, and I do think, and I know I said this too as well. I do think the defensive line needs help depth wise. Because there's not too many people behind, the Great Wall. So my thing is this. Maybe they try to beef up the line on the defensive side, and I really do think they should. I'm hoping Gabe Hall pans out. Hopefully we can see him sometime this year, or whatever the case may be. But I hope he pans out, and we go from there. But the next person we got on here is Yannick Ngakoue, a defensive end as well. And I seen a report before I got on here that there has been no communication with Yannick Ngakoue. So I don't know how true this is, but it is on the list, right? Next person we have on here is Eddie Jackson, safety. Safety help is going to be a big thing that we really need to concentrate on, because I remember Anthony DeBano talking about this on the Philly Special Show. A lot of the safeties that we have now, CJ's coming back from an injury. Blankenship came back from an injury. It was injury prone last year. Sidney Brown tore ACL. Hopefully we have him back before the football season is over. Hopefully we can get him back into the rotation. So I do hope to have Sidney Brown back. I know, that's an injury you got to take some time to come back from, but I do think Eddie Jackson might fit that mold, bringing in the veteran presence. The next person we have on here is Quan Alexander, linebacker. I think that's another area of concern, like I just talked about Zach Cunningham. Nobody's really proven too much yet on that linebacker core. Devin White would probably be the best player that we do have, but at the same time, production-wise, these last few years ain't been his best with Tampa Bay. Now, I do think we'll have a resurgence of White, but at the same time you can't bank on it. So you got to make sure that, like I said, you're bolstering up these areas of concern, because sooner or later you're going to have somebody get hurt. You know what I mean? And we hope that it doesn't happen, but we don't want to do what we've been doing, trying to go out here and go piece it together. Already have the player in the building, so they're acclimated to what's going on, and just slide them right on in, right? So the next person we got on here is Quandre Diggs, safety. Another safety that I spoke about. We need safety help. And then the last player we have is Russell Gage, which is a wide receiver. And I think this will also be good too, because our wide receiver room is good, but depth-wise on the outside, we don't have a lot of depth. Still trying to figure out wide receiver 3 and what they're going to do with that. Is it going to be a rookie's position? Is it going to be it seems to be Paris Campbell's position at this moment in time. But I do think in that wide receiver 3 they can do a little something there. But on the outside, we're going to need more players, or players that can play on the outside as well. So and I don't know. I should look that up. I don't know if Russell Gage plays on the outside. I should have checked that. But or even like I said, even if it's on the inside, it doesn't really matter. But my thing is this: we need help, wide receiver wise, right? So with that being said, man, that's all I have today. I want to say I do appreciate everybody watching, tuning, subscribing, all that good stuff, man, because it really doesn't go unnoticed. So with that being said, man, it's your boy Nah from the No Cut Sports Podcast. I'ma holla at y'all, but before y'all get out of here, make sure y'all please like, comment, and subscribe. And one more thing, go Birds. I'ma holla at y'all, man. Y'all be safe.